嘿，大家好，我是陆玉，欢迎来我的频道。上期 James 帮我们讲了美国人是如何看待疫情的，然后他这期会帮我们讲新手如何购买适合自己的家庭防御武器。我们现在就来看看他是怎么说的。
Well, I'm pro gun, so anyone buying any gun, I'm happy.
Okay.
Well, that's responsible enough to own one legally.
Yeah.
I think do a little research before you go out. Hopefully, the retailer you're going to is educated and helpful enough to be able to point them in the right direction. Always a first good gun. I mean, any kind of pump shotgun, any shotgun really.
Okay, let's start from the worst gun you should buy from the store.
The Desert Eagle. Don't buy a Desert Eagle.
Okay.
If you've seen it in a movie, don't buy it. Buy something that's comfortable, that you can handle, and usually what the shop recommends to you. These are people going for like military surplus, things like that. This is definitely not your first gun to buy. Lever action, I wouldn't suggest. As much as people want to see the Golden Boy, I wouldn't go that way. Same thing with bolt actions. No. Most of the time, as a first-time gun owner, you're going for range, performance, and you're going for home defense. And bolt action is not home defense. You're not going to go up and somebody's going to come in your house and you got to keep doing this. They're not going to do it. It doesn't make sense. And the max you're going to get out of that is like 4 rounds. You want a pump or semi-automatic. The pump is nice because you get that nice little sound to it. I mean, I wouldn't bank on that saving your life, but it does help. Semi-automatics are nice too. It's a shotgun, so you get a nice spread, big area. Yeah. It's not a specific point the bullet's going to hit, so you don't have to be super accurate. You just pretty much point in the direction of where it's going, and it's going to take it out. Yeah, first time, I would go with a 20 gauge. Just because it's not so big of a round, it's still going to take out an intruder, and it's still going to be fun to shoot, and it's not super expensive. 12 gauge, it's heavy. If you've never shot before, I don't recommend going right for that. 12 gauge, 20 gauge. See the difference?
Well, why is 12 gauge is like bigger than 20 gauge?
That's how they size them. So it's like the smaller the number, the bigger it is. So 10 gauge is the biggest, 12, 16, 28, 410.
Okay, so 12.
Yeah, so there's the way these work.
20.
No, I mean, yeah, that's a 20. This is 12.
12, okay.
Yeah, basically the way they work is, if you look at the picture on here, you got a little wad at the bottom, you got your primer and your gunpowder in here, and it shoots all these little BBs. That's why when it comes out of the gun, you get a bunch of these BBs in, and it hits you, instead of just one bullet.
And those things doesn't go through the wall, right?
The 20 gauge won't, no. This could, depending on which one you use. That's why I would suggest. I mean, this one really won't either.
This one is 9?
This is 9mm. Okay. So, both effective, but you have to be more accurate with this. This, you kind of just that way. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I would go short barrel. Anything in the house, you want to go short. That's why handguns are nice, too, because you don't have to maneuver with it versus with this. You're walking around your house. You're hitting everything. You want something that's like here. So you can kind of point it down. You don't really want a long stock. So if you can avoid it. And the less you have to worry about hitting stuff with, the shorter the gun, the better you can maneuver around in the house. Same thing with like AR-15s. You want a shorter AR-15 for home defense. Same handguns. I mean, they're all short. So that's not an issue. But that's nice. Easier to store. Easier maneuver. I'm going to gear everything I'm saying towards first-time gun owners. I would go with, and this is for women too, 9mm.
Yeah.
Women more either 380 or 9mm. For men, I would still, if you've never shot before and you're a new gun owner, go 9mm. It's cheap to shoot. It's easier to handle than a 45. And it doesn't have as much knockdown power. This is a 45. This is a 9mm.
Okay.
But if you can't handle the gun properly, it's not going to be effective. So you'd rather have a smaller bullet that you can handle properly and feel comfortable doing every time than something that is a bigger bullet that you're scared to shoot and you're not comfortable.
So accurate, always go first.
Absolutely. And plus when you go to the range, it's like $12 a box for this. This is like 18, 19 bucks a box.
Wow.
First time buyer, I would say, depending on your hand size, I would go full size, which is This is an example of a Glock 17.
Oh.
This is a full size. It's clear.
Okay.
No bullets in it. This is nice. You always have. I always like going full size, especially as a male. They usually fit better in your hand. They're more comfortable, and they just run. Especially with this, the Glock 17. They're the best. But that's personal preference. These feel good in my hand all the time. Yeah. If you have a smaller hand, then you go subcompact, or which is just a smaller size. It's whatever you fit in your hand that you feel comfortable using consistently. When you go to draw it or you go to use it, you don't have any second guesses. You're good with that gun. Your biggest thing, like I said earlier, is going to be the caliber. Okay. So if you can handle the recoil or the jump from the gun and you're comfortable with that still, you should be fine. The size of the gun is secondary. Yeah, you can buy tasers in New Jersey now. I don't know about New York law. Okay. To be outside of your home, that's pretty much all you got. I'd rather use pepper spray over tasers because tasers you have to be closer. You have to most of them you have to physically touch the person. Okay. Not the one you shoot like the cops have. They're like $1,000.
Wow. Yeah. And then you shoot once, it's done.
And it's still kind of it's once it's done, it's your shot. It's over with. If you got baggy clothes on, a baggy hoodie, you might not even get contact, and it might not work. Pepper spray. Nobody wants peppers in their eyes. No one wants to rub their eyes with jalapeno juice. No one's doing it. So when you spray that kind of shit in their eyes, they're blind and now they can't do nothing. I would, especially for women, I recommend pepper spray over it or bear mace.
You're talking about a stun gun as opposed to a taser. So there are two different ones. Yeah. Stun gun, you have to actually hold and touch that person. The taser, you're a distance away. So when you shoot them, the dart comes out of the gun and goes through the clothes, and that's where you get the voltage. Okay. And you squeeze the handle, the voltage comes through that little cord and goes right into you.
What's the range for the
5 feet, 10 feet, just depending on the spray?
I've sprayed that pink one we have over there from sitting at the desk, and it went straight into the tank, which is what would you say that is, 10, 15 feet?
I'd say probably 15.
Yeah, that's about fair.
Yeah, before it dies, you know what I mean. As you're spraying, it'll come out. But then, of course, it drops down, and so you've got to be relatively close for it to.
If you're within 5 feet, you're easily going to hit the person. I mean, it comes out in a straight line. It's got a lot of power to them. Even the cheaper ones. That's the other thing too. It's way more inexpensive than any of the tasers. The tasers are all expensive, and there's a chance the battery can die. I mean, with the what's it called? The pepper sprays. As long as you haven't had it for 6 years and you never tried it once, and you. Like if you fresh bought one, you know it works, you're fine. It's not going to die on you. But if you've had one sitting for 5, 10 years, probably get a new one. Wouldn't rely on that. Yes and no. Yes, because it's a break open, which is I am a big fan of break opens. Break open just means the action, how it opens. This is where you would load your rounds into, and then when you're done, you close it. Okay. When you're done again, you'd open it up. It's called a break open. Very, very simple. Has no real moving parts besides the hinge that it's on. So it takes no time to learn. Anyone that could do this knows how to use this gun already and shouldering it. So, but for home defense, not so much because this is all you got. 2 rounds. So if this is just going to be a range gun or pretty much just a range gun. I mean, you could use this, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'd rather have 5 or 6 rounds or 10 rounds in a handgun than 2, because you're not going to be able to reload in that situation. And it's a 12 gauge. Appreciate you asking me questions, and I hope my view on things helped educate some people on stuff. And next time, whatever you want to come in, I'll answer whatever you want.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
不知道大家在看完 James 的讲解之后，是否有自己心仪的武器了呢？但往往在面对突发事件时，料敌先机比趁手的武器更为重要。那么，如何夺取先机呢？刚才。那我们下期就为大家演示狗狗是如何保卫家庭的。还请点击订阅以及打个小铃铛，就不会错过我们下一期内容。I love ya, see you next time.